Hello, welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel, you lovely, lovely people. Thank you so much for joining me. It's much appreciated. Today we're Christmasing in July. Crafty Christmasing in July even. Crafty Christmas in July 24 is hosted by Teri over on sweetpeapapers. And if you would like any more information, you'll find lots of information below, including there's a draw at the end of the month, so if you'd like to enter the draw, do a make, put your make into one of Teri's Facebook groups, Sweet Pea Papers or Junk Journaling Tutorials and More, and for each one you put in, you will get an entry into the draw. There have been some designers who have gifted kits to the collaborators to use. I'm not using one of their kits today, but nevertheless, they're all linked down below. Well, they're on a link tree, but the link tree is linked down below. And also linked down below are all the collaborators. So go along and see what they're doing, because there's a whole variety of stuff going on. Today, I'm doing part of a journal. I'm just going to give you an idea for your Christmas journal that you've maybe not thought of before, and it's an idea for a cover. And what you'll need to do is you'll need to have already sorted out your signatures, and I've sorted out my signatures here. This kit is one I already had, and it's the details are up there and the link is down there to the kit. But it's not one from what the creators that are currently gifted. This is not a gifted kit at all. So what you want to do is you want to sort your signatures out. I've got 3 signatures here, and you want to make a back cover as normal, the kind of size you want roundabout. Now I want this to be not a lot of hanging out and stuff, because that's not what this journal is going to be. I have the back. As well as that, I need 3 spines. 2 spines for the make, and a 3rd spine, which I have cut, but I don't know where I've put it just now, because it's going to be a hidden spine journal. So what I need to do is I need to sew these signatures on that spine. But I need to do something to that spine before I do that. So you need 1 back, you need 3 spines. You then need 2 pieces, and you can see I've just done this from Amazon packaging. 2 pieces that are, and I'm not giving you dimensions because this dimension will depend on your signatures. I have done 1/2 inch all the way round. No, 1/4 inch all the way round. Not down this side. 1/4 inch larger than my signatures round these 3 sides. And so these need to be matching, and these need to be half the width of your back plus 1 inch. So if you have a 7 inch, then these are going to be 8 inches. If you have a 4 inch, then these are going to be 3 inches. Okay, so it's half the width plus 1 inch. And then what you're going to do is you're going to measure, I'll just show you on here, measure 1.5 inches from the corner and cut off the corner, 1.5 inches from each corner and cut off the corner, so that you end up with a shape like that. This is craft wrapping paper, and it has, as you could see, it has nutcrackers on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this in here, and what I want to do is I'm going to adhere this to this paper like that. The backboard in the centre, spine either side, and that other front cover either side, with a gap in between all the bits. And I'm going to adhere that to the paper, and then I will be back. Now I've stuck down on the thing and I've started sticking the inside down. I've done this because I can't get it all in, and I'll show you what you need to do now on this other side. The first thing you need to do is cutting off at the ends to give you a fold over, so whichever size fold over you would normally do. And then, don't do it that way, Kirsten, this point here either side, cut from the edge of your paper down to that point, but stop, don't cut all the way to the point, cut from the edge of the paper down to however much of a fold you normally do in those two places. Now if you struggle with cutting straight lines, by all means get your ruler out and draw a rule on it first. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a rule. I can't give you a template. Again, I can't give you a template because it will depend on the size of your signature. You're making this to fit the signature, the size of signature you've made. But what I will do is I will use the ruler after all, because it might just help you if you don't know quite what you're doing. Right. So let's just start by, see, I've got two different sizes there. Anyway, let's just start by, we'll take a line all the way along there, and that's going to be the bit of paper that goes over. But as you can see on this side, the middle bit's different. So what we need is we need a line down from this line, level with the back board, to the edge of your paper. And the same this side, from your backboard, from that line down. See, I make it a squinty line when I've got a ruler. And then you're going to cut out these two bits. Now you don't need this bit. And you don't need this bit. Now I've used paper that was folded, and it's still got the kind of folds on it, but I don't mind that. And you'll see why in a wee bit. But you can, if that's something that you don't like, then you can iron it. If it's proper thick craft paper like this, you can iron it. Though this has been so well, this has almost been creased before it's been folded, that that's not necessarily going to work. Or you buy it on a roll. Now what you're going to do now is you're going to continue this line down there. So you can take it all the way down, but the reason I do this separately is so that you don't forget and end up cutting that. So I always do this line after I've done the others. Okay, let's now glue this down. And I'm using PVA glue, in case you were wondering. Right, now when it comes to this bit, what you're going to do is you're going to, again, you're going to put it on here, but you're going to fold it in half. So just bring this down. You can bring it the whole way down, but certainly bring it halfway down your glue, whatever. And you could use a glue stick. You could actually use double-sided tape for this if you're that way inclined. And just use your margin as your guide as to where you want to fold it. Make sure you run your finger or a bone folder, fingernail along that and get that really nice and crisp in there. And then, oops, make sure you've got this all folded down. So you've got a flap there. And take your bone folder and just run that over that flap. Don't worry about glue scooking out. Wipe up. If you've got something that isn't PVA, wipe it up sooner rather than later. Because it's just easier. Isopropyl alcohol if you've got glue in your glue mat and you want rid of it. Right, let's do the last two bits here. Okay, that bit there just wants a wee bit more glue. When you're using cardboard and craft paper, they're both quite thirsty, but that also means that they have a good adhesion with PV because the PVA becomes part of both of them. And now I just need to let that dry. I let all that dry. I've put in my inside, which is this nutcracker tissue paper. I've also put my signatures in. I covered my third spine with the nutcracker tissue paper. I should have shortened it first, but I forgot until I was sticking it down, and by then it was already sewn in, so it was staying like this. It just means you get a slightly different angle there. I stuck that in that one, and I've done this end, and I'm now going to show you this end, what you do. The first thing you want to do is, I'll just do this so you can see, is you want to measure in 1 inch from each end. So that's 1 inch and 1 inch. And then you're going to take now draw, in fact I'll do it again, I'll draw a line for you. I wouldn't normally do this, but I'll draw a line. So you're drawing a line from the corner where it meets to that inch mark, and the same on this side. Oop. And then you're going to cut those corners off. Now, as you can see on this side, I've put in a star. It doesn't need to be a star one, but because it's Christmas, I put a star one in and added a bit of string. So let's do that. We need a big hole punch, and I've got it set. I've got it set here. For those of you who don't know, you can slide this so it sets it how far back you want it so that it's set in the same place. I need to measure it in the middle though, don't I? I haven't done that. Where did I do my pencil? There we go. There. So let's just, and you can see through the hole there where your line is. Just take it up there and punch. Then this goes through the hole. These are We Are memory keepers, and they are a lovely fit. That's the difference with getting the We Are memory keepers one. So you need to give them a bit of a wiggle, but they're a much better fit. A good squeeze. There we go. And what I like to do, as you can see here, I've done it here as well, is this is paper hole reinforcements, and I just colour them with gold. And this is relative, you can see it's come down well. Sometimes they don't, of course, but mostly they do. But because this is going to be on this, I don't want it marking that, because over time it would end up just giving it a wee scuff mark where I mean, it's not totally smooth because it's a bit metal, so I just put one of them on, and it just finishes it off as well as protecting your journal. Then I'm going to take a bit of twine, and I've got this Christmassy, focus, it's too thin for it to focus, isn't it? There we go. I've got this Christmassy butcher's twine, and let's try and make, well, I can shorten it afterwards. Let's take a decent hunk off so I can shorten it. That's a decent bit to keep. And then what's going to happen is you're going to tie this, and you can put a bow in it if you wanted. And then if you bring this forward, you see you've got a parcel. So we also now need to decorate the front of this, and we need to decide first of all which flap might be our, I think I'm more inclined towards that one, although I don't know if I like these two. Suppose I think they're better like that. Let's go that way. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this Hessian ribbon all the way round. So, and I think actually I was tempted then for a moment to put double-sided tape, but because it's Hessian ribbon, it'd be much easier on doing it all to do this. Because it's Hessian ribbon, the double-sided tape will continue to be sticky. So what we will do is, and this is where I don't mind the fact it's got creases, because it's a parcel, a Christmas present, then your Christmas present would have creases on it. I don't really want to cover up his face though. And then I cover up his face if I do it that way. I cover up both of the faces. You're just going to have to go for it. I really like this paper, but it wasn't the best paper to choose because everything's just a bit too far apart. Right, okay. So we'll just cut that slightly longer so I can adjust it. There we go. You'll find it much easier sticking, when you're doing a long wide bit like this, you'll find it much easier sticking down the original, the start, and then doing a bit at a time. Less likelihood of you then going squinty. you might have to do some more, add some glue after you've got it all, but by then you've got it in place and it's easier to add some more glue. It's just shouldn't have been easier probably putting this on before I put the signatures in, but never mind. Now what you would need to do is, before it's set, is just wrap it back round and make sure it's going to stick that. Ha! It's stuck that, but it's not sticking the rest of it. If I do, oh no, it's sticking out. Oh no, it's not straight. It's sticking now. It just wasn't obviously fully adhered. I'm not too bothered because at the moment, because I'm going to do another bit of glue, and I don't really want the ends, these bits, stuck down too much, because then it's less ribbon like, if you know what I mean. That's shifted, unfortunately, so maybe that makes the decision that it does go that way. Oh no, because I'm right. So let's trim that. I don't know why I'm using these. I had these out to do that big cut there. And just take that end bit off. That's a good wee bit for my cluster draw. And then I thought what I'd do is I'd use this on top of that. Now I need to go and get some out because I've got some more in a roll. Oh, how fab is this? I don't use this a lot, but I do love it when I use it. Is that going to be not quite long enough? So we'll have to take off a whole strip and then take a strip off the strip. Let's take it here. Okay, so let's have it back this way. Now, the first thing I want to do, oh, I need to trim that wee bit off there as well, don't I? Be careful you don't trim off. Now, what I'd like to do is I'd like to put, and what have I done with him? What have I done with him? This is a wee chap from the front, from the paper, and I've glacier pasted his hat and his boots and his belt and everything that's black apart from his hair. And I want to stick him in here. Well, I need to decide, I need to make a final decision as to which way this is closing. It's going to close that way, I think. Or it should close that way because I've made the mess there. So we'll put him on here. We could actually even make a wee pocket, couldn't we, for him? We could have a wee pocket in there. Let's put a wee pocket in there. Okay. Right, I've got a bit of this left. Let me think, because I need to... Yeah, I can do that. I can do that. Let's turn this over and turn this over. And up with the corner. Let's just cut that out. We'll have to trim it down, but that's the best way to get the size we want. In fact, let's, if we, yeah, because if I cut that out, right, so I've trimmed down the size. If I now cut this out, and I'm not bothered about placement because I'm actually going to use this side of it, because I'm going to stick that one that's all been glacier paste. Right, so that's now the right shape, but it's too big. But if I now go in and just cut off all the corners like that, so that wasn't all the corners, was it? That was the corners around the bottom. And then fold these in. I should have maybe folded them in before I cut them off, because then I'd have known what I was still keeping to the shape. Hopefully I'm still keeping to the shape now. And then I can fold these corners in, and we'll have a pocket. Cut the corner, fold the corner, fold your bits in first, and then cut your corners off, because I've got a feeling I've maybe changed the shape of this pocket. Let's have a look. And I've just done it the wrong way around as well. Actually, that's okay. It's a wee bit short, but that's okay. And I should have done it the other way around, because I want the plain side out. So I'm just going to make this one a wee bit shorter than it was. This was a good size. Start there. Do that one back. Put that one back. And make that one slightly shorter as well. And put this one in the middle pocket. I don't mind that you can see you can see a bit of blue the whole way around. It's just you've seen a thicker bit of blue there, and that's fine with me. So now, before I stick down the pocket, what I need to do is I need to stick down a magnet. The best thing to stick these magnets down with is a drop of fabric out the like. So let's drop that, put that magnet on there, and then we need to cover that with something. Just a wee bit of tape. Where's my tape gone? Oh well. Oh look, here's a snowflake sticker. We'll use this. This feels quite sticky, but I don't really want it to come loose, so I'm just going to put some extra glue on it. That's just because this is a pocket, and if you don't cover it up, then that's going to get in the way in the pocket. Right, so now let's put our pocket on. Do we want something behind him? I know, let's put some snowflakes behind him. I've got the snowflake tissue paper. See, I should have really put this on beforehand. But I quite like that on there. You're making life difficult for yourself again, Kirsten. What's new? Let's I knew I didn't want the this is what happens when you make it up when you go along. Right, so plenty of glue. Stick this down. Going to need a bit more glue along there, that's okay. Now I'm going to go in, I'm not going to go in with my scissors, because if I go in with my scissors, it's not going to work. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with a paintbrush and hope that this tissue paper is quite a bit thicker than normal tissue paper, so hopefully though it will still tear apart if I wet it. Yes, it's going to do it. Just need to watch it round where the metal is. Yeah, it doesn't matter, I quite like the fact it's then going to have a raggedy edge. Bigger risk. Right, I need to also try and get this bit cut, torn, whatever. Although it might be quite cute to leave it, but it's too late now. There we go. There we go. Oh, and I've just spilt water, everyone. Jodie, I'm blaming you. Oh. Just spilt water. At least it's not over my journal. Oh dear. It's that Jodie's fault, I'm telling you. It's that Jodie Lewis. Right. It's the curse of the... Look what got wet. It's the curse of the glacier base. Right. Okay. That's dealt with. Oh, I've got a bit of water on there. Now you see, that's why it's a good job. Good job it was... Imagine if that hadn't been... See, now I'm sitting there. Ha! See, that fell over then to tell me you really do want to put some... Oh no, I've lost my brush. Where's my brush gone? Where's my glue brush gone? That was like it telling me you really do want to put some PVA on there. Well, I've got Mod Podge here, but I can't find my glue brush. Right, I'm deciding which brush to sacrifice, and of course I don't want to sacrifice any of them really, but it also needs to be the right kind of... I'm gonna use this brush and then I'm gonna wash it straight away. I know I've got a little bit over there, but it's not going to stick down there. Okay, so I'm now going to have to leave this to dry before I can finish, but I can stick him on. Oh, right, let's get him on while it's all wet. There we go, and I'm going to have to leave that dry before I can do the next bit. So I'm going to go and get myself a cup of tea or something, fill up my water, and I'll be back to finish off. Right, we're back. This is now dried, so we can finish it off. I've brought myself a glass of water because it's terribly hot, and I'm just wondering how wise that was. I might put it over here. Let's keep it out the way. Right, I've also collected this, which I'm going to use for a closure, because now we need to tie these two. So So those two ends of the parcel are done, and then we move these two over and it's going to go that way, and a magnet's going to keep it closed. So let's place our magnet and then we know where to place. Oh dear. Now you can see that's where the magnet needs to be because it keeps on jumping back there, but it's not strong enough. Sometimes I expect too much of these magnets. I can make it do a wee dance, look. Right. Oh, what am I going to do? 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 Because I can't now put a... Right, okay. Could that be used as some kind of closure? Trouble is that's going to be... If I put that on there as a closure, I can't put anything underneath it. But I could put a... No, I couldn't because I can't. Let me think. I thought that was going to work. Oh, I wanted to right. I want it to emboss this star. So let me emboss this star while I think about it. Well, that was a bit... It was a bit... What's turning out to be a bit, Kirsten? You know what's happened, don't you? I went to get the embossing powder and stuff out, and I paused it because I thought, oh, I'm going to just go and do the washing while that's paused, and then I forgot to unpause it. I'm going to just leave it running in future, and then I'll just have to edit out things, I guess. The trouble is then you end up with too much if you do that. Anyway, this is my finished journal cover for the third week of A Crafty Christmas in July 24. And we'd got to the place where I was off to emboss this star, which you can see I've embossed in the gold. And there was a problem with the magnet. I solved the problem with the magnet just by putting a bigger magnet in. And now, as you can see, it keeps it closed, no problem at all. Just put a big magnet in. I couldn't change the magnet that was underneath here because that's now all in there. So there's a wee magnet still underneath here, but I put a big magnet underneath here and underneath this ribbon. So underneath the two ribbons now is a bigger magnet. I also added, I don't think I had this third ribbon on beforehand. I've put that third ribbon round because I just feel that gives it, that kind of finishes it. I put the spine dangle on, which of course is your gift tag, or it's a journaling tag, but that's the idea. And it's got some Christmassy jingle jangles. We've got a parcel and a Santa hat and a mitten. And if we open it up, the ribbon of course goes the whole way around. If we open it up, we have our pocket and our nutcracker, which has the glacial paste on it. This is a nutcracker from the kit that the journal's from, which is linked down below, as is the tag. They're both from the kit. This nutcracker is there to hide that spine dangle, the other end of that spine dangle. And if we undo that, then you have your parcel fully opened and you can enjoy your journal. Let's just wrap it back up. So just tie that together. You could have done this all kinds of ways, this closure, but I wanted it to be a closure that could easily take if this got bigger, and that's the easiest way I could think of for doing it. And close it up with our magnet, and there we go. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, all the details of Christmas in July are down below, and we'll see you for the next one. Remember to go and look at all the other collaborators because they've all got some fabulous ideas. There's some lovely work being done. Lovely work. Bye for now. Take care. Thank you so much for watching. Keep crafting. Ho, ho, ho.